What's going on, guys, and welcome to another episode of Smash JT. I am taking a look at Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games Tokyo 2020 coming out for the Nintendo Switch, and I haven't played too much of this, so this video is going to be more like a preview. I've played about, let's say, an hour or so far, all multiplayer. I had a buddy that came over and we played it, and then I played it with my son for a little bit. And my son was playing it with his friend, and they were having an absolute blast with this. So I already know it's good for all ages, and it does a tremendously good job of giving the competitive aspect of track and field back into the modern era. So for what it's worth, we're going to take a look at some of these events. I want to say a special thank you to Sega of America for sending me a review copy of this game. And I've already done the quick match for a little bit, but I never tried the story mode, so let's check the story mode out. I really like how they brought the retro-inspired graphics back into this game. Chapter 1, a mysterious game system. It's finally time for the Olympic Games in Tokyo. Can't wait for all the intense matches. Who'd have thought we'd see Mario and Sonic standing next to each other in a video game? Like, ever. Eggman and Bowser are getting together. The dynamic duo. And they got a full-on storyline going on here. So they got a video game system given to them, and they're talking about turning it on and playing it, but they don't know that Eggman and Bowser gave it to them. So they're still waiting for them to turn the game system on. It's a very basic storyline. I'm sure my son would absolutely freak out about this. Can't wait to replay this story mode with him. You too. Oh, the Switch. So they had no idea how to turn it on. Bowser went over and turned it on. And now they just got sucked into the game system. A very original storyline that clearly has never, ever, ever happened before in anything. Tokyo 1964. So they were transferred not only into a video game system, but back in time into a video game with retro-inspired graphics. The storyline here kind of reminds me a little bit of how the old Mario and Luigi Game Boy Advance games worked. So Mario and Sonic want to compete in the Olympic Games with Eggman and Bowser because they're up to something, and maybe it's a way out of this game system. That's the storyline. But there's an overworld. Like, this is a legit storyline. That's impressive. I did not expect a RPG type experience going into Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games. Alright, here we go. Spectator seats are over there. Go ahead, get going. I'm competing too. Okay, so the storyline is interesting. It gives you a reason to want to play through the events. And it's all throughout the, at least the beginning of it, the retro-inspired graphics. Which is cool. Defeat Eggman in the 100 meter and earn the gold medal. Alright. And you play as Sonic. How do I do this? Is it just the A button? Yep.
Struggled on the start. Sonic's in the lead. Sonic keeping the lead. And
That's easy.
it's not the best time I've seen.
So you just tap the A button as fast as possible to go faster. Like all good track and field games. I like how it's basic. I like how it's very straightforward. Sometimes a lot of these newer track and field games try to do too much, and overcomplicating them makes them not fun. Sometimes it's just as simple as pressing a button as fast as you can, and having that be the event is the most fun you can have with the video game. Piece of cake, baby. That was too easy. So back to Luigi in the real video game world, at least the modern one. Mario and Sonic got sucked into the game system. That impossible has happened. Luigi's not happy about it. If it's gonna do with machines, Tails is your guy. Never knew Tails was much of the machine guy, but okay, I'll go along with it. It moves on to the real video game world of competing. It's a good way to showcase all the games and force a storyline into the events. I mean, it's a ludicrous storyline. So there are 3 different ways you can play. The dual controllers by, I would guess, shaking both hands together as fast as possible. The solo remote by, well, I'm not even going to do the movements of that one, and buttons only. So we will do the buttons only the old school way, because that's how I like to play the track and field games.
On your marks. Ready.
I'm guessing hold R to charge and tap A. Okay. Tapping A as fast as I can. Super dash R. Okay. So this one is a little bit more advanced with the buttons you press. I like that. The old school retro inspired graphics are pretty straightforward, basic, just mashing buttons. And the updated graphic styles includes more buttons to press to do different things. So it's got the best of both worlds in it. And for those of us that like the basic track and field events with the old school button pushing, you can just do the retro inspired events. If you want a new twist on them, you can do the better graphics and new graphic ones. Now I will say, when I was playing this with my son, he just wanted to play all the new graphic ones. He didn't care about the old school ones. And I feel like I kind of failed as a parent with that, but I'm working on that. So you can't move the camera around freely. I'm trying with the other analog stick, and it's locked in just fine. Mario and Luigi's mustaches are shaped differently. What does Luigi's look like? Well, it shows it right there. A pair of swishes. Each twin has a distinctive mustache. Mario has a fluffy one. Luigi has one that looks like a pair of big swishes. Well, I mean, they show a picture of Luigi right next to it, asking you what it looks like. I do wish you could freely move the camera around, but it is what it is. So we'll go to the full Tokyo 2020 map. Let's see what this looks like. Oh, that's pretty cool. So it basically turns the game into a role-playing game. Like a very simplistic role-playing game, but still. Not something I expected out of this. So it's a fun little addition to a track and field game that typically doesn't have that kind of stuff. Oh, gymnastics. Oh boy. Let's go check out Daisy warming up over here. I mean, if we're going to be approaching this game expecting a realistic storyline, I think you'd be going into the game completely wrong. But if you go into it with an open mind and just go along with the flow of it, it's entertaining enough. This is a tough one. This was one that will take a lot of practice. They do not give you like any time. I need to like memorize where the buttons are. Good lord. Mission failed. Okay. Why is that a miss? Whew. There we go. Okay, see, this one takes a little bit more practice. Whoa, I'm not done yet. Alright. X, okay. B, Y, okay. This one takes a little bit more practice, but once you get used to it, it's definitely more fun the more you know what you're doing with it. That one's more like a DDR Max or Guitar Hero where you just have to match the buttons with the timing. That's the story mode. There is a lot more involved with this game and what you can do with it, and the just sheer amount of events that you can play. I'm gonna back out of this just real quick to give you a quick overview of them all. So here are all the events that you can choose from on the one player or multiplayer mode. It's got the 100-meter dash, triple jump, skateboarding, which is a really neat one. The Rugby Sevens, haven't tried a few of these because, like I said, I've only played it for a little bit. Table tennis is fun, boxing is fun, discus throw is kind of weird, but fun as well. Sport climbing I actually really enjoyed. Karate's a ton of fun. Swimming is interesting with how the joysticks work with that one. I like that one. Fencing is fun. Archery is one of my favorites that I've played so far. Gymnastics you just saw. Football I haven't played. That's actually soccer, but Olympic football. Surfing haven't tried yet. Javelin throw, dream racing, dream shooting, dream karate, equestrian, and you can pick random. The other thing you can do is switch over to the old school events, and these are very different. Even though they're the same sports in a lot of the cases, the way you play them with the buttons and stuff is very different. The shooting one was actually really fun. So, haven't tried, like I said, all of these, but the ones I have tried, I've had a lot of fun with. And I played it with my buddy who is like a huge fan of track and field games. Track and Field on the NES and on the PlayStation 1 are two of our favorite games to play against each other with of all time. And he was saying this one is up there with them. So, yeah, Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games. Here's a quick fact sheet. Published by Sega. Sports game, Nintendo Switch, E10 Plus. Number of players, 1 to 4 local, 2 to 8 online. Haven't been able to check out the online yet because it's before the game's launch, so nobody's online with it yet. Release date, North America, November 5th, 2019. Europe, November 8th, 2019. MSRP, $59.99. And I will include the direct link for the website in the description below. But honestly, guys, I like this game. It's fun, and I'm having a blast with it. And I feel like I've just scratched the surface with it. There is a lot to do with it. So this is Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games on Tokyo 2020. I'll leave the video right there. Let me know in the comments below if you guys are looking forward to this title and if it's something that's up your alley. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, you stay smashing.